Greetings, fellow storm chasers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Mind Over Magic, Jade Dragon, Episode 6, Protection from Storms. Alright, well, we have a new student. So let's go and have them summon in a nature... Oh! Wait, we didn't make a nature one? Oh, it's in progress. Got it. Alright, so Guitar Lilin and Moxie bring in a nature mage. So it requires 2 mages because as your student population increases, you need more mages to summon new students. So this will be student number 4. And this is almost entirely to fulfill Dancing with Friends for Hope. I know, kind of ridiculous. So this raffle timer is both for Hope and the new nature student. And Hope goes to Red Moon Feathers. Great name. And then the nature mage is Sean again. Or Sean with a B. Let's fix that. So Sean... Oh, you know what? Holy moly. So Sean... I'm back into spoiler territory. Sean, just perchance, started with Dark Level 2, giving him the possibility of being worth to keep because Sean can dual class really well. So I am going to apprentice Sean too and make Sean and Red Moon apprentice. I like it. So Sean is going to be a nature dark mage. A dual caster. Because Sean started with Dark 2 and Nature 3 and is perfect for a dual cast. And also has power B and speed S. Nature and Dark mages are terrible in combat, so he's probably not entering combat much. In fact, I would even say mana is the most important grade for a Nature mage. Because nature mages usually have to go way out into the forest to chop down trees, and it really helps to have a big mana pool so you don't have to run all the way home for that. But I don't care. It's not a big deal. So Sean and Red Moon are going to stick around. They're also both Wolfkin, just by chance. So for that, what I need to do after getting these researches is for Red Moon, I want to get the Water Wand, level 2. And the Water Apprentice Fountain. And then for Sean, I want to get the Nature Wand, level 2. But the Dark Apprentice portal. So Red Moon is going to get a Water Wand and become a Water Mage apprentice. Sean is going to get a Nature Wand, but become a Dark Mage apprentice. So he's going to be dual caster. So it's a lot of queued up research. All right, we got liven up the place. So that's being able to make our own rugs, but that was just a prerequisite for the lightning rod. So we're working on the lightning rod now. I think what I'm going to do is build a second secretary so that I can like double my double the people doing that. I'd also like to fulfill... Oh, so you know what? It's... Oh, no, never mind. I would need one more student for Dom's group learner. So I'll probably try to fulfill Dom's Potion Purist and then graduate him. Yeah, so I'm going to have Dom and Badger come down here to this battle. That will fulfill Badger's Potion Purist 2 out of 2 and 1 out of 2's for Dom's Potion Purist. Because I'd like to graduate Dom soonish. There, they're all the same. Doesn't really matter who we attack then. I am going to be taking some damage here because I can only tank 2 of these, and the turn order... I can soak 1, but Dom is so slow he goes after all of these drowned ones. So someone's taking damage here. Yeah, Dom took a little bit of damage, that's fine. Ooh, good crit. Does someone want to solo before graduation? No one's going to survive that without significant potions, so I'm not bothering. Sometimes the trials are just hard enough. It's more effort than it's worth. I said that at the time. I'm repeating myself now. But that's why I didn't bother. It's worth ignoring those rather than committing suicide. Because that would have been suicidal. Now, there are potions which will add to your, like, armor and heal you and stuff like that. And you can maybe do soloist with a 10 potions like that to be able to, like, throw damage potions to the enemy and take tank potions for yourself. But if you don't have those potions, it's completely suicide to do that. No one mage would be able to take out this fight by themselves. That's, way too big of an ask. Yeah, just because the trial asks you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. Don't be stupid. Pretty good rule. Don't be stupid. Alright, I took very little damage there. Badger's now max level. And also one of the benefits of doing this is whoa, that was weird. Also, one of the benefits of doing this is it's a really good way to level up your relics being in combat. So before we even go back to regular classes or anything, I'm gonna jump straight back into the next fight. Wait, what the hell? Oh, because it wasn't a level 4 battle. Hang on. That's a level 3 battle. You know what? I don't really want to do level 4 battles with Dom, so I'm gonna graduate Dom. Yeah, don't bother with this fight. I didn't notice Dom's Potion Purist is level 4 or higher, and I don't have access to level 4 or higher battles right now. So, Dom, you go away. And I'll summon in a new student to do Red Moon Feathers group dancing. Actually, you know what? Hang on. She only needs to group dance once. Let's just do that right now. Done. Group dance. And now I can graduate Dom. Bye, Dom. You were used. And abused. He was the one that got hurt. So, bye! Trucking Life, thanks for the gifted sub. Alright, and he dropped a Paw of the Tailor. Wow, that is worthless. I can attune it to Sean, but boy, it's worthless. So, there's something called a Relic Plinth, and you can build an here, I'll open up the room so that you understand what I'm talking about. You can build an archive that has up to 4 plinths, and to put the relic on the plinth for the bonus. So, relics can either be attuned to mages or put on a plinth. The relic plinth for most of these is just like, I'm able to specify the type of student I want to summon. So if I wanted to summon Wolfkin, Cultist, Vivified, Cult, you know, whatever. And the way to do that, if I wanted it, is I could plinth, like, let's say I plinthed the Moon Dial. Then I can use the Formidable Spinner to summon a cultist with that attuned to it. So if you want to summon a specific race, you have to have 2 of the plinth powers. It doesn't work if you just have 1. The reason I don't tend to do this, though, is it costs an extra Gnosis shards to summon a specific initiate. So I usually just let the dice roll. The other reason to not have an entire roster of all the same race is because of the random curses. So if I had a random curse that cursed Wolfkin and all of my roster were Wolfkin, and I got attacked and Wolf couldn't fight, I'd be screwed. So it's really bad to, like, mono race. At least have 2. What relics don't I have attuned? So Red Moon hasn't attuned. Sean has 2 relics he could attune, the Bolster Journal or the Paw of the Tailor. So I'm going to have him attune the Bolster. Oh, he's not a high enough level mage to even attune the Bolster Journal. I think what I'm going to do is actually just smash the Paw of the Tailor. I'm just going to get rid of it in the pulverizer. I'm going to pulverize it. I don't want to level it up. So, smash it we go. I also just got access to my first mana crystal, which allows me to build a mana lantern. I'd like to build a mana lantern in my research room, so I'm going to finagle my research room's layout a little bit so I can get a mana lantern in there. It's getting a little cramped. I like to put the mana lantern in the research room so when the researcher runs out of mana, they don't have to run all the way back down into the mana font. They can just hit the mana lantern that's right in the room. So, I'm putting a mana lantern between the 2 so that we don't have to return back here when we're done. I need to collect gut berries for the Repel Fog ritual. So stick that on priority 5. After the lamp is done. So Badger just needs to dance a bit more in order to get Dancing Queen. And then Sean needs to dine in the mess hall, attend a ritual full, which he can attend the fog repelling, and then potion purist silver. So Red Moon and Sean both need to kill level 4 enemies. But they're going to stick around a while because I intend for them to be apprentices, so it's not a big deal. So I want to graduate Badger once Badger is finished dancing, and then save up the Gnosis shards for a gifted fire mage, because I have my water mage, I have a nature dark mage, I really want a fire mage. So Sean, once you finish eating your diarrhea, we are going to do the fog repel so that you get your full ritualist. So he's done eating, so let's go do this. Sean, you get to repel the fog. Mana Lantern does produce light. It produces moonlight, but it also refills your mana when you use it. So you right-click on it to refill the Mana Lantern with mana, and then a mage can withdraw 5 charges from the Mana Lantern to fill up their mana. So it is a mana regenerator too. It acts as both. It acts as moonlight rather than sunlight. So Badger... Well, that was weird. I don't need this schedule. This is going to be Badger's schedule. Just keep dancing until you're done. Oh, the pull, right. Sorry. Left that up forever. So Red Moon is done with the rested learning, and Sean is done with the full ritualist. Good. And Badger is just going to keep dancing until I can graduate her. She's not dancing right now because she's like completely full of recreation, so she just can't dance anymore. She's danced out. Is this... Okay, I fit there. Cool. So now we can double up the amount of researchers that we got. Because... So I'm going to change the priority of... around here. So that Moxie is spending way more time on the researcher. Because students can't research, but everyone else can. You know? So it's better to have the students do the hauling and stuff like that, and Moxie and Guitar Lil and just plow through the research. Now, if I wanted level 4 fights, which both Red Moon and Sean require, I'm going to have to go deeper into the under school. But I don't want to take those fights until they're like higher level. So they have some leveling up to do. And I might not want to take those fights with Sean specifically until Sean is like an apprentice, because nature magic is really not strong in combat. Red Moon is a fully trained mage. So I'm also going to run into the issue where their learning is going to become purposeless until they become apprentices, because they're fully trained and they don't have much to do. But because their conviction is really high from the other services I'm providing, it should be fine. And I'm like essentially forcing Badger to just keep listening to the Chantophone, filling up the Dancing Queen. So the good news is the lightning rods is just about done. Yeah, nature is a utility magic. It's the farming magic, really. All right. So lightning rod. You can see the sphere of influence it protects. You don't technically need to protect stone walls. They don't get struck. Only roofs do. So I can put it here. And then I don't have enough smoke sticks for the other ones, but, you know, 3 will cover the entire roof. So let's get lightning rods. Because don't like when everything... It's so disruptive to have, like, your entire school and roof and, like, things break and burn, and it's very annoying. I wish that there was a longer grace period at the start of the game before your first lightning storm, because racing to get lightning rods feels sucky, to put it bluntly. So battle magic. Battle magic is definitely water and fire and earth. Those are your battle magics. Earth is your tank, and fire and water are your high damage dealers. Now you can have specialty combat. Lightning is really good at attacking specific targets. They can attack any target on the field, not just the front row ones. So really powerful lightning mages can be very helpful in battle by sniping the back line, if your back line is weak but does a lot of damage. And then air has the potential to be powerful. Air has like multi-strikes that don't do a lot of damage, but if you can get a really powerful air mage, they can get really high level lightning multi-strikes. But generally speaking, fire and water are your battle magics. Dark and nature tend to be your base management. So dark allows you to make quilted beasts, which does your hauling, your cleaning, your plant tending, your wood cutting, stuff like that. And then nature does your higher level plant tending and cutting, which is required later on. Without nature and dark, you kind of hit a bottleneck for how far you can progress within the tech tree. Earth is your tank magic because they have the taunt armor. Lightning is your like single target sniping. And air's rough, dude. Air sucks in combat. it's really hard to make air work well. So I almost never get air mages for that reason, which is unfortunate. Because air is assembling and hauling. It's not even things you need a lot to do a lot of. So, yeah. Sorry, air magic lovers, but just, it's a pain to be an Aang. I'll put it that way. Alright, we have enough for another lightning rod. And then I'll try to get the smoke sticks for the third. I have 26 Noxus shards towards another special student. Keeping an eye on that. And we are researching going places, which allows us to build new foundations. There is, thinking about the theory of building new foundations, there is a reason why you wouldn't want to build like a ton of foundations everywhere, which is you displace the native crops. So unless you're building greenhouses and actually farming, if you build foundations out, like if I built my foundation out to here and out to here, I would have a lot fewer gut berries to harvest, which is potentially very dangerous because if I lose my gut berries, my wild gut berries, and I'm not growing my own, the fog will encroach and it will kill me. So I generally, early game, don't just like expand my foundations out as far as they can go, because unless I'm ready to start farming, which requires labor, it requires a lot of labor to tend and harvest the crops. Tending the crops to allow them to grow, you know, you become, wild crops grow on their own, and that's great. And I like to rely on wild crops as much as I can early game, because it's lazy and efficient. I think that's maybe the better way to put it. Oh, that mana crystal is out. There we go. But yeah, the mages study with the double secretaries, and I am blowing through the research. So now we have going places. So I think the only amount of foundations I'm ever going to add, for the most part, is going to be like 5 on one side, 5 on the other. That's going to be my footprint for the entire run, except for one special thing. I like to protect my crops this way. So I'm going to build a foundation here and build a wall to prevent the croa, which is like a bird, from eating my crops. Because you can build a foundation out here to just stop the croa from getting in. So I want to build the common room here, and I'm going to build foundations underneath it to support it. I'm also going to need a lot more stone, so I'm going to be soon pretty incentivized to go deeper into the underground, because I've mined up all the surface stone, and the surface stone won't come back. So I have to go underground to get it. There's other ways to get it as well. There's the Lavina. If I could type right now, oh my god. So there is there's a beast here, the Lavalina Sty, which can turn wood into stone. But I need to gain access to level 4 enemies anyway, so I want to go into the underground for that reason too. Okay, come on, Dancing Queen, just be done. She's like one dance away from graduating. Alright, time to leave. Actually, she's going to be better suited for combat than Sean, so I might keep her for now, just for that reason. So I just said I needed stone. So let's go into lava mine deeper. So I'll put Red Moon and Badger in the back row, Guitar Lil and Medic in the front row. Is there any relics to attune before they do that? No. No, no. Yes, Sean can attune to Bolster Journal now. Alright, so I'm going to start the battle with these guys. And then Sean is going to attune. Wait, was Sean... Yeah, there we go. He needed to be level 3 to attune to that relic. But he is now. Alright, Amber Golem retaliates against the caster. So we're going to want to snipe out the Batkin, which attacks an enemy twice. And then try to reduce the amount of damage that we get from the Ember Golem by soaking it from the back row, because it doesn't retaliate the back row. And torrenting it. Okay. No damage so far, that's good. So the Batkin's dead. Do you get better relics for completing the challenges? Yes. The more trials you complete, the better relics you get. Oh, there we go. So now the back row is getting attacked. And I don't want to get too injured. So I'm going to attack enough that I can kill it, but I don't want to get anyone, like, KO'd. So we're going to take a little bit of damage because it's hard to avoid with the Ember Golem. But, like, in this case, I'm going to pass because we've already taken some damage. Because what I can do, if I'm patient, is smash it to death with my Earth Mage, who has casted armor. Because I don't want to increase the recovery time for this combat team too much. So I'm going to speed up the combat animation so that we can go through this quicker. And just whittle it down with my Earth Mage so he doesn't, we don't get too much injuries. Because the more injured you are, the more annoying it is to recover. There we go. Done. Got a whole bunch of stone for that. Perfect. And the next room we'll actually get a mana stone too, or a mana crystal rather. And it's a level 4, meaning that it will fulfill the champion requirement. And if I don't use potions, also fulfill the potion purist requirement. I'm gonna need to move my bitter rice plots because they're in the way now. Spectral Rift. Well, is that a level... It's a level 4 fight. Everyone's a little injured, but I think they could take it. So what I'm going to do is bring Red Moon and Sean, because they both have requirements to fight level 4 fights. Higher risk, higher reward. Alright, and we need one more lightning rod. So, Moxie. Get the smoke reed. How close are we to having the last one done? 13? Okay. I don't have the smoke reed out here enough to do it yet, but we'll get there. All right, the messy meddler is the dangerous one, so we're going to signal that one out first, because that does dot corruption. So here, as you can see, the nature mages just don't do a lot of damage. 31 versus like 46. That's why I just don't prefer them for combat. Even with, like, similar power levels, their abilities are underwhelming. Alright, the chest smasher is the next easiest to kill. And then the torch snuffer. Yeah, this was an easy fight. we'll end up with no damage from this one. And that fight fulfills one of the champion requirements and one of the potion purist requirements. Awesome. Also, spacing out your trial completions to fulfill the learning bar is smart. So Sean, for instance, and Red Moon, because I want to keep them longer as students, it's going to be important for me to manage their conviction to make sure that they're not so like hopeless in their learning by spacing out those. But given that it's pretty early in the game, I'm not too worried. It's pretty easy to keep them happy early on. Fungal Bloom. Earth mages have a huge penalty here. So if I enter combat, Matic is not going to be able to cast Taunt early on unless hastened by Guitar Lillin's spells. Good to know. So also, I might want to avoid combat until the Fungal Bloom goes away, unless I have to fight because of the penalties. Alright, I think, Moxie, I'm going to make you construct for me so that I can actually get the stuff I want built. Construct and assemble. Rather than research. Take a brief reprieve from research. Due to our recovery beds, everyone except for Red Moon is recovered from injuries. I'm going to send her up to do medical rest. And we now know how to plant ice flowers. So we got domesticated ice flowers so that we can get a water wand tier 2. We're also now researching the potion of recharging, which is the reagent required to make a water wand tier 2. And once I'm able to make a water wand tier 2, we need to find the special understudy area in order to upgrade our water wand to tier 2. So there's a room down here, without spoiling too much. There's a room down here which allows you to swap out a water wand tier 1 for a water wand tier 2. I mention that because in past versions of Mind Over Magic, you couldn't swap the wand. You would be summoned with a wand, but now I really like the direction that Mind Over Magic took. You can change your wands over time. So for instance, Guitar Lilin obviously has a lightning wand tier 1, and if I wanted to have her have a wand tier 2, I could swap it out. The higher level your mage, the sort of harder it is to satisfy them. So there's a bit of a disadvantage to have everyone be like as max tier. It's not smart. So for instance, I'm setting Sean up to be like a nature and quilted beast tender. And he doesn't need to be stronger than that. So there's not, once he becomes that, there's not much of an advantage for him to even get stronger, because it doesn't, you know, and make him better at doing the things he needs to do. Not really. So there is sort of a limit of how strong people even need to be. If they're not part of the combat team, if they're not the 4 that typically go to combat, they don't really need to be even more powerful. So Sean's going to be a caretaker for the school. The good news is it keeps them out of trouble, keeps them out of combat, and they're happier. They're honestly happier. It's easier to keep them on conviction target when they are not constantly getting beat up in the in the battles. There is a boon for with better wands and rituals for repelling fog. That much is true. Signed bed is unreachable. Which... Okay. He can't reach that bed, but he doesn't need to. We'll just use another one. So I'm just expanding the foundations here. This can actually be a bedroom, an austere bedroom, pretty easily. Because austere bedrooms have to be grounded, and we're making a new grounded building. So I'll turn this into a temporary austere bedroom for the students. Alright, let's move the beds because people were sleeping on the floor. Wolfkin actually don't care about sleeping on the floor. So, there's not a huge penalty for sleeping on the floor for Wolfkin. So, actually, this is not much of a problem. Now I realize. Because Badger is the only one that would care. So I'll put Badger to sleep in the room, but for the others, it doesn't really matter. They do get the morale bonuses for like sleeping in rooms, and then sometimes they like to sleep in rooms together, depending on their perks. So there's reasons to still give them rooms anyway, because sleeping in an austere bedroom will give them a bonus of 2.5. So even if they don't have penalties sleeping on the floor, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean there aren't bonuses for sleeping somewhere. The other thing is this is no longer an elevated, an elevated dining room. So in order to make that elevated, let's fix this. I'm going to have to move the torches, obviously, but I'm going to build like a roof here so that the room above can be elevated. So let's move these torches to fix the penalty to the dining room above. I hadn't thought of that ahead of time. But easy enough to fix. Let's have you assemble over construct so I can fix this room faster. It's going to be a really weird looking room, but it's not the final layout. It will change. So it's a little temporary room for the students to sleep in. Yep, so now, as you can see, it's a dining room because I'm putting the roof in. So it's, you know, that roof touches. That's going to be a problem. There it goes. Is it going to be a problem? No. So now this is elevated, and that's a bedroom. Thank you for tuning in to Mind Over Magic Jade Dragon, which originally streamed live on Twitch October 8th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow mages.